Jake Morrison wiped the sweat from his forehead as he walked through Central Park. His work boots made soft sounds on the concrete path. The construction site had been hot today and he was tired, but he always picked up his son Tommy from school. It was their special time together. The park was busy with people heading home from work. Children played on swings while their parents talked. Dogs ran around chasing balls. Everything seemed normal until Jake saw something strange. There was Tommy sitting on a wooden bench near the pond, but he was not alone. Next to him sat a small figure with blue skin and large dark eyes. The creature wore torn clothes that looked too big. Jake stopped walking and stared. The blue-skinned child was drawing something in the dirt with a stick. Tommy watched with wide eyes, asking questions. Jake moved closer, trying to hear what they were saying. "See, Tommy," the alien child said in broken English. "Stars work like this. Big ones burn fast. Small ones burn slow, like candles. Big candle burns bright but dies quick." Jake's mouth dropped open. His 8-year-old son was getting a science lesson from what looked like a homeless alien kid. "But how do you know which stars are big?" Tommy asked. The blue child smiled. "Color tells you. Blue stars very hot, very big. Red stars cool, small. Yellow stars like your sun, middle size." The alien drew circles in the dirt, making them different sizes. Jake had never heard Tommy ask such smart questions before. His son usually cared more about video games than school. But here he was, completely focused on learning about stars. Other parents had noticed too. A woman with a baby stroller stopped and stared. A man in a business suit pulled out his phone and started recording. Jake could hear whispers. "Is that thing safe around children? Someone should call the police. Where are its parents?" Jake felt angry hearing these words. The alien child looked up when more people gathered. Fear flashed in those big dark eyes. The small blue hand stopped drawing in the dirt. "I should go," the alien whispered to Tommy. "No, wait," Tommy said. "You didn't finish telling me about the planets yet." Jake made a decision. He walked over to the bench and sat down next to his son. The alien child scooted away, ready to run. "It's okay," Jake said gently. "I'm Tommy's dad. My name is Jake." The alien stared at him with suspicious eyes. "You not angry?" "Why would I be angry? You're teaching my son amazing things." Jake looked at the drawings in the dirt. They showed the solar system with all the planets in the right order. "This is really good work." The alien child relaxed a little. "My name is Zix. I am from planet Kythera. It is gone now." Tommy's face showed sadness. "Gone? What happened to it?" "Big explosion in space. We had to leave fast. Many ships. Mine crashed here on Earth 3 months ago." Zix looked down at the ground. "My family did not make it." Jake felt his heart break. "This was just a kid, alone and scared on a strange planet." "Where have you been staying, Zix?" "Empty buildings. Sometimes park benches. I find food in trash cans." Zix shrugged like this was normal. "Is okay. I learn about your world by watching." "That's not okay," Jake said firmly. "No child should live like that." More people were watching now. Jake could see some taking pictures with their phones. A few looked angry or scared, but others seemed curious about what was happening. "Please continue the lesson," Jake said to Zix. "I want to learn too." Zix's eyes lit up. "Really? You want to know about space?" "Yes, please teach us." Zix picked up the stick again and started drawing. "Your Earth is special. Not too hot, not too cold. Perfect distance from sun. We call planets like this lucky worlds. And are there other lucky worlds?" Tommy asked. "Many. I visited 12 before coming here. Each one different. Some have purple skies. Some have 2 suns. Some have animals that can fly without wings." Jake watched his son's face. Tommy was completely amazed. His eyes were bright with excitement. Jake had never seen his boy so interested in learning before. "How do you know all this?" Jake asked. "My people are teachers," Zix explained. "We learn everything, then share with others. Is our way. Young Kytherians must know much before becoming adults." "You mean kids on your planet were this smart?" "All of us. We start learning when very small. By your age," Zix pointed at Tommy. "We know math, science, history of many worlds." A security guard walked over. "Excuse me, sir. Some people complained about this situation." Jake stood up. "What situation?" "A child is teaching my son about science." "Well, sir, it's an unregistered alien. There might be health risks or—" "Look at them," Jake interrupted. He pointed to Tommy and Zix, who were now drawing pictures of different alien animals in the dirt. "Does this look dangerous to you?" The guard looked uncomfortable. "I'm just doing my job, sir." "Your job is keeping people safe. This child is hungry and homeless. That's the real danger here." Other parents were arguing now. Some wanted Zix to leave. Others were defending the alien child. Jake could see that Zix was getting scared again. "Come on, guys," Jake said to Tommy and Zix. "Let's go get some ice cream." "Really?" Zix asked in surprise. "Really. And then I want to hear more about those flying animals." As they walked away, Jake heard people talking behind them. Some were angry. Some were amazed. Some were taking more pictures. Jake didn't care about any of that. What he cared about was the small blue hand that Tommy was now holding. What he cared about was seeing his son excited about learning. What he cared about was doing what felt right. "Dad," Tommy said as they walked toward the ice cream stand, "Zix is the smartest kid I ever met." "I think you're right, buddy. Can we be friends with him?" Jake looked down at Zix, who was listening with hopeful eyes. This alien child had lost everything but was still sharing knowledge with others. That took courage. That took kindness. "Yes, Tommy, I think we can be very good friends." Zix smiled for the first time since Jake had met him. It was a beautiful smile that made his whole face light up. Jake knew that this moment would change everything. He just didn't know how much yet. The ice cream shop was busy, but Jake found a quiet corner table for the three of them. Zix had never tasted ice cream before. His eyes went wide when he tried the chocolate flavor. "This is wonderful," Zix said, licking the spoon carefully. "What is it made from?" "Milk, sugar, and chocolate," Tommy explained proudly. "My dad makes the best chocolate milk at home, too." Jake smiled watching them. "Zix, where exactly have you been sleeping?" "Old warehouse near the river. Roof has holes, but walls keep out wind." Zix ate another spoonful of ice cream. "I fixed the broken door so it locks. Safe at night." "That's not safe enough," Jake said. "A kid shouldn't live alone like that." "I am okay. I know how to hide. I know which humans are kind and which are not." Zix looked at Jake. "You are kind. I can tell." "How can you tell?" "My people can sense feelings, like reading emotions in the air. Most humans here are afraid of me. Some are angry, but you feel protective, like parent feeling." Jake's chest tightened. This alien child could read emotions, and he sensed parental feelings from him already. "Would you like to stay at our house tonight? We have a spare room." Zix nearly dropped his spoon. "You would let me stay?" "Of course. No child should sleep in a warehouse." Tommy bounced in his seat. "Yes, Zix can sleep in the guest room, and he can show me more drawings." That evening, Jake's small house felt different. Zix looked around with curious eyes, touching things gently. He seemed amazed by simple things like electric lights and running water. "Your home is very warm," Zix said. "Not just temperature. Feeling warm, too." During dinner, Zix told them about his planet. Kythera had floating cities. "We built them in the clouds because ground was too dangerous. Big storms all the time down there." "Floating cities?" Tommy asked with his mouth full of pizza. "Yes. Held up by special crystals that push against gravity. Each city had schools and libraries. We spent all day learning and teaching each other." Jake listened while cleaning dishes. "What happened to your planet?" Zix's face became sad. Nearby star exploded, made huge wave of energy and fire. We had 3 days to escape. Not enough ships for everyone. "I'm sorry," Jake said quietly. "My parents put me on ship with other children. They stayed behind to help more people escape. I never saw them again." Zix stared at his hands. "Ship crashed during landing here." "I was only survivor." Tommy reached over and hugged Zix. "That's really sad. But you're safe now." "Tommy's right," Jake said. "You're safe here." The next morning, Jake had a problem. He needed to go to work and Tommy needed to go to school. "But what about Zix?" "I can hide," Zix offered. "I am good at hiding." "No hiding," Jake said firmly. "You're coming to school with Tommy. Is that allowed?" Tommy asked. "We'll find out." Pine Valley Elementary School was buzzing with activity when they arrived. Jake walked straight to the principal's office with both boys following behind. Principal Linda Hayes looked up from her desk and froze when she saw Zix. "Mr. Morrison, what exactly is going on here?" "This is Zix. He's a refugee who needs help. He's also incredibly smart and has been teaching Tommy advanced science." Mrs. Hayes stared at Zix, who stood quietly behind Tommy. "I'm not sure we have policies for this situation." "Then let's make new policies," Jake said. This child needs education and safety. Isn't that what schools are for? Before Mrs. Hayes could answer, Tommy's teacher, Mrs. Carol Davis, walked in. She saw Zix and stopped. Is this the alien child the parents are talking about? The one who was teaching kids in the park? You heard about that already? Jake asked. It's all over social media. Videos, pictures, news stories. Some parents are very upset. Mrs. Hayes rubbed her forehead. This is complicated, Mr. Morrison. It's only complicated if we make it complicated, Jake said. Look, just let Zix sit in Tommy's classroom today. See what happens. I don't know if... Please, Tommy interrupted. Zix is really smart. He can help other kids too. Mrs. Davis looked at Zix with curious eyes. What grade level are you at, Zix? I do not understand your grade system. But I know mathematics through what you call calculus. I know chemistry, physics, biology, history of many worlds, Mrs. Davis blinked. You know calculus? How old are you? 12 in your years. Young for my people. 12 and you know calculus? All Cytherian children learn these things. Is normal for us. Mrs. Hayes and Mrs. Davis looked at each other. One day, Mrs. Hayes said finally, trial basis only. 2 hours later, Jake's phone rang at the construction site. Mr. Morrison, this is Linda Hayes. You need to come to the school. Now. Jake's heart sank. What happened? Is Zix in trouble? Just come, please. Jake drove to the school expecting the worst. Instead, he found a crowd of people in the hallway outside Tommy's classroom. Teachers, parents, and even some older students were peeking through the doorway. Inside, Zix stood at the whiteboard explaining fractions to the third-grade class. But he wasn't just explaining, he was making it fun. Think of pizza, Zix was saying. If pizza has 8 slices and you eat 3, what fraction did you eat? A girl named Sue raised her hand. 3/8? Correct. Now what if your friend ate 2 slices? How much pizza is left? The children were completely focused. Even kids who usually cause trouble were paying attention. Zix made learning feel like a game. Mrs. Davis whispered to Jake, I've never seen them this engaged. Billy hasn't acted up once. Maria actually asked to work a math problem on the board. What about the other parents? Some left angry, but others stayed to watch. Look, Jake saw several parents filming with their phones, but their faces showed amazement, not fear. Dr. Amy Chen arrived that afternoon. She was a scientist who studied alien refugees for the government. Jake worried this meant trouble. I came because of the videos online, Dr. Chen explained. I needed to see this myself. She watched Zix help struggling students with reading. His patience was incredible. When a boy named Ben couldn't understand a word, Zix found 3 different ways to explain it. Remarkable. Dr. Chen murmured. Cytherians are natural teachers. Their whole culture is built around sharing knowledge. So this is normal for his people? Jake asked. More than normal. Essential. Young Cytherians need to teach others to develop properly. Without it, they can become depressed, even sick. He was living alone in a warehouse. That explains why he looks thin and tired. His species needs mental stimulation and social connection to thrive. Dr. Chen watched Zix smile as a student finally understood a difficult concept. This child isn't just surviving anymore. He's thriving. That evening, Jake made another decision that would change everything. Zix, how would you feel about staying with us permanently? Zix looked up from helping Tommy with homework. Permanently means forever? As long as you want. As long as you need. Tears filled Zix's large dark eyes. You would do this? Even though I am different? You're not that different. You care about learning. You're kind to others. You help people. Those are the things that matter. Tommy hugged Zix. We're best friends now. Best friends stick together. Yes, Zix whispered. Best friends. Jake knew this decision would bring challenges. The videos online were getting attention. Some people were angry. Politicians were making speeches. Social workers would ask questions. But watching Zix and Tommy work on homework together, seeing both boys happy and learning, Jake knew he was doing the right thing. Sometimes the right choice was also the simple choice. Help a child who needed help. Jake woke up to his phone buzzing nonstop. Text messages, missed calls, and social media notifications filled his screen. The videos of Zix teaching at Tommy's school had spread across the internet overnight. Most messages were positive. People called Jake a hero. They said Zix was amazing. But some messages were very different. Angry words about aliens taking jobs from humans. Warnings about dangerous creatures around children. The worst message came from his boss at Morrison Construction. "Jake, we need to talk. Come in early today." Jake found Mr. Bill Carter waiting in the construction trailer with a serious face. "Sit down, Jake." "Morning, Bill. What's this about?" "You know what it's about. This alien kid you're housing. It's all over the news." Jake felt his stomach tighten. "Zix isn't causing any problems. Maybe not for you, but I've got 3 clients who called this morning. They don't want you working on their projects anymore." "What? Why?" "They think you're unstable, taking in an alien child. They're worried about your judgment." Jake stood up quickly. "My judgment? I helped a homeless kid. That's called being human." "I know, Jake. I think what you did was good. But business is business. I can't lose clients. So what are you saying?" Bill looked uncomfortable. "Take some time off. Let this blow over. Come back when things calm down." Jake left the construction site feeling angry and worried. Without work, how could he take care of Tommy and Zix? At school, things were getting complicated too. Principal Hayes called Jake to her office again. "We have a situation, Mr. Morrison. Senator Robert Kane is coming here today. The anti-alien guy from the news? He's pushing new laws about alien registration. He heard about Zix and wants to use our school as an example." Jake felt cold. "Example of what?" "How aliens are infiltrating human institutions." His words, not mine. "Zix is helping kids learn. That's not infiltrating anything, I agree. But several school board members are nervous. They're talking about banning Zix from campus." An hour later, news vans surrounded the school. Reporters pushed microphones at anyone who walked by. Jake saw Senator Kane on the front steps giving a speech to cameras. "We cannot allow unregistered aliens free access to our children," Kane was saying. "This is about safety, about proper procedures, about putting human families first." Jake walked past the cameras and straight into the school. He found Zix in Tommy's classroom, quietly helping kids with art projects. "Hey buddy, how are you doing?" Zix looked up with worried eyes. "Many people outside are angry. I can feel their emotions. They want me to leave. What do you want to do?" "I want to stay. I want to help children learn, but I do not want to cause trouble for you and Tommy." Mrs. Davis approached them. "Mr. Morrison, I need to tell you something. Zix has helped 3 students this week who were failing. They're now at grade level." "That's wonderful. Sarah Martinez hasn't spoken in class all year. Yesterday, Zix got her to read a whole paragraph out loud. Her parents cried when I told them." Jake looked at Zix, who was blushing blue. "You did that?" "Sarah was scared to make mistakes. I told her everyone makes mistakes when learning, is normal, is how brain grows." Just then, Senator Kane walked into the classroom with Principal Hayes and several serious-looking adults. "So this is the alien in question," Kane said loudly. Several children looked up from their work, scared by his tone. Zix stood up slowly. "Hello, sir. I am Zix. You have no legal status in this country. No documentation, no health records. You could be carrying diseases. I had medical check with Dr. Chen yesterday," Zix said politely. "I am healthy. That's not the point. The point is proper procedure. Legal channels." Tommy stood up next to his friend. "Zix isn't hurting anyone. He's helping us learn." "Children don't understand these complex issues," Kane said dismissively. "We understand that Zix is nice," said Sue, the girl who had learned fractions. "He makes learning fun." "Yeah," added Ben Cooper, Tommy's best friend. "Before Zix helped me, I hated reading. Now I read every night." Kane ignored the children and turned to Jake. "Mr. Morrison, you've created a dangerous situation here. This alien needs to be properly processed through official channels." "What official channels?" "There aren't any laws for refugee adoption yet." "Exactly my point. We need strict regulations before allowing aliens into human families." Dr. Chen appeared in the doorway. "Senator Kane, might I suggest you review the educational data before making policy decisions?" "Dr. Chen, I didn't expect to see you here. I've been studying the integration patterns of alien refugees. This case is particularly significant." "How so?" "Test scores in this classroom have improved 30% since Zix began helping. Reading comprehension is up 40%. More importantly, student engagement and curiosity have increased dramatically." Kane frowned. "That's irrelevant to the legal issues, is it? These children are our future. If an alien refugee can help them excel, shouldn't we consider that a positive outcome? What we should consider is precedent. If we allow this, where does it end? Aliens in every school? Aliens in every home? Zix stepped forward quietly. Sir, may I ask why you fear my people? Kane looked surprised. I don't fear anyone. I believe in proper procedures, but you feel fear. I can sense it. You fear that humans will need us. You fear that we might be better at some things, and that's ridiculous, is it? My people were teachers for thousands of years. We learned from many species across the galaxy. We know that every species has gifts. Humans have gifts too, such as? Zix smiled. Compassion, courage, hope. When our world died, humans opened their planet to us. No other species in the galaxy has done such a thing. Humans are special because you care about others, even strangers. Kane seemed uncomfortable with this answer. Emotional arguments don't change legal requirements. Perhaps, more said Dr. Chen, we should focus on creating legal frameworks that work, rather than preventing beneficial relationships. After the senator left, Jake sat in his truck in the school parking lot. His phone rang. Jake, this is Maria Santos from Child and Family Services. We need to schedule a home visit regarding the alien minor in your care. When? Tomorrow morning. There have been complaints filed. We need to investigate the living situation. That evening, Jake, Tommy, and Zix sat around the dinner table. The food was getting cold because nobody felt like eating. I should leave, Zix said quietly. I'm causing too many problems. No, Tommy said firmly. You're family now. Tommy's right, Jake said. Families stick together through tough times. But what if they make me go away? Jake reached over and put his hand on Zix's shoulder. Then we'll fight it. Legally, properly, but we'll fight it. Why would you do that for me? Jake thought about his answer carefully. Because it's right. Because you make Tommy happy. Because you help other kids learn. And because, Jake paused, because I love you, buddy. You're my kid too now. Zix's eyes filled with tears. I love you too, Jake, and Tommy, you saved my life. No, Jake said. You saved ours. We just didn't know we needed saving until you came along. Outside, more news vans had arrived. Jake could see camera lights through the window. Tomorrow would bring new challenges. Social workers, lawyers, maybe more politicians. But tonight they were a family, and families find ways to protect each other. The family court building was packed with people. News cameras lined the sidewalk outside. Protesters held signs that said, humans first and aliens go home, but other protesters held signs that said, protect refugee children and let Zix stay. Jake walked through the crowd holding Tommy's hand. Zix walked on the other side, trying to ignore the shouting. People were taking pictures and asking questions, but Jake kept walking straight ahead. Inside the courtroom, Judge Helen Brooks looked tired before the hearing even started. She had dealt with many difficult cases, but never anything like this. This is a custody hearing regarding the alien minor known as Zix, Judge Brooks announced. We're here to determine appropriate placement and care. Maria Santos, the social worker, spoke first. Your Honor, while Mr. Morrison's intentions appear good, he lacks proper training to care for an alien child. We don't know this creature's biological needs, psychological requirements, or potential dangers. Zix isn't dangerous, Jake said, standing up. Mr. Morrison, please wait your turn, the judge said gently. Senator Kane's lawyer spoke next. Your Honor, this case represents a dangerous precedent. Allowing unregistered aliens into human homes without proper vetting threatens public safety and legal order. Dr. Chen was called as an expert witness. Your Honor, I've studied Zix extensively. Cytherians are peaceful, highly intelligent beings. This child poses no threat to anyone. But what about long-term care requirements? The social worker asked. How do we know Mr. Morrison can provide appropriate care for a non-human child? Let's ask the people who know best, Dr. Chen suggested. The children Zix has been helping. Judge Brooks looked surprised. You want to call children as witnesses? Yes, Your Honor. If we're determining what's best for a child, shouldn't we hear from other children? Tommy was the first to testify. He walked to the witness stand looking very serious. Tommy, tell us about Zix, Jake's lawyer said. Zix is my best friend. He's really smart and really nice. He helps me with homework and teaches me about space. He never gets mad even when I ask dumb questions. Does Zix seem happy living with you and your dad? Oh yes, he smiles all the time now. When I first met him, he looked really sad. Now he laughs and plays games with me. Sue Martinez testified next. Zix helped me learn to read better. I was scared to read out loud because kids would laugh at me. But Zig said making mistakes is how we learn. Now I'm not scared anymore. Ben Cooper told the judge how Zix had helped him with math. I hated numbers before. Now math is my favorite subject. Zix makes it like solving puzzles. One by one, children from Tommy's class testified. Each story was the same. Zix had helped them learn and feel better about themselves. Mrs. Davis was called next. Your Honor, in 20 years of teaching, I've never seen a child have such a positive impact on others. Test scores have improved, but more importantly, these children are excited about learning. Any negative impacts? The judge asked. None. Zix is patient, kind, and incredibly knowledgeable. He has a gift for understanding how each child learns best. Senator Kane took the stand to argue against Jake. Your Honor, emotions aside, we must follow proper legal procedures. This alien has no documentation, no official status. We can't make exceptions based on feelings. What would you recommend? Judge Brooks asked. Immediate transfer to a proper processing facility until legal status can be determined. Jake's lawyer stood up. Your Honor, may we demonstrate Zix's teaching abilities? How? Your Honor, do you have any children who struggle with school? Judge Brooks looked uncomfortable. My daughter Lisa has difficulty with mathematics, but I don't see how that's relevant. May we bring her here? Just for 10 minutes? The judge hesitated, then nodded. Bailiff, please call my wife and ask her to bring Lisa here. 20 minutes later, a nervous 12-year-old girl entered the courtroom. Judge Brooks explained the situation to her daughter. Lisa, this young man claims he can help students understand math better. Would you be willing to try a quick lesson? Lisa nodded shyly. Zix approached her gently. Hello, Lisa. What part of math gives you trouble? Fractions. I just don't get them. That is okay. Many people find fractions confusing at first. May I show you a different way to think about them? Zix asked the bailiff for paper and colored pencils. He drew a circle and divided it into pieces. Pretend this circle is a pizza. If the pizza has 8 slices and your family eats 3 slices, what happened? There are 5 slices left? Exactly. So your family ate 3 out of 8 slices. We write that as 3/8. The bottom number tells us how many total pieces. The top number tells us how many pieces we're talking about. Lisa's face lit up. Oh, so it's just counting pieces. Yes, fractions are just counting pieces of a whole thing. Like slices of pizza, or pieces of a chocolate bar, or pages in a book. In 10 minutes, Lisa was solving fraction problems that had confused her for months. Her mother, Judge Brooks, watched with amazement. How did you know she learns better with visual examples? The judge asked Zix. I can sense how people think. Lisa thinks in pictures, not just numbers. So I gave her pictures to help understand. Dr. Chen explained to the court, this is typical Catherian ability. They can sense learning styles and adapt their teaching accordingly. It's why they're such effective educators. Commander Lisa Park from Earth Defense Force testified next. Your Honor, I represent the military's perspective on alien relations. We've been monitoring refugee integration carefully. And what have you observed? This case has become a symbol. Other alien species are watching how we treat Zix. If we separate him from a loving family without good reason, it sends a message that humans cannot be trusted with refugee children. What message does keeping him with the Morrison family send? That humans honor our commitments to protect refugees, that we judge individuals by their actions, not their species. That Earth is truly a safe haven. The social worker made one final argument. Your Honor, regardless of good intentions, Mr. Morrison is a single father with a construction job. He lacks resources for specialized care. Jake stood up. Your Honor, may I respond to that? Go ahead, Mr. Morrison. I'm not rich. I don't have fancy degrees, but I know how to love a child. I know how to keep kids safe and fed and happy. Zix doesn't need specialized care. He needs what every kid needs, a family that cares about him. Mr. Morrison, are you prepared for the long-term responsibilities? Zix will need education, healthcare, legal documentation. Yes, Your Honor, Dr. Chen has connected us with resources. The school wants to create a special program around Zix's abilities and... Jake took a deep breath. Commander Park says the government will help with legal status if you allow the adoption to proceed. Judge Brooks was quiet for a long moment. She looked at Zix, who sat patiently waiting for a decision that would determine his future. Zix, do you want to stay with the Morrison family? Yes, Your Honor, very much. Why? Because they make me feel safe. Because Tommy is my best friend. Because Jake loves me even though I am different. Because they gave me a home when I had nowhere to go. And what do you want to do with your life? I want to teach. I want to help human children learn and grow. I want to share the knowledge of my people with your people. I want to build bridges between our species." Judge Brooks nodded slowly. "This court finds that Zix is thriving in the Morrison household. The evidence shows he poses no danger and provides significant benefits to the community." The courtroom held its breath. However, this situation requires proper legal framework. "Therefore, I am granting temporary custody to Jake Morrison, while ordering the creation of new adoption procedures for refugee children. Mr. Morrison, you have 6 months to complete the formal adoption process." The courtroom erupted in cheers and protests. Jake hugged both boys tightly. Zix was crying happy tears. "Furthermore," the judge continued, "I recommend that this case serve as a model for future human-alien family integration. The Morrison family has shown that love and compassion transcend species boundaries." Outside the courthouse, reporters surrounded them with questions, but Jake just kept walking toward his truck, holding his 2 sons close. "Dad," Tommy said, "does this mean Zix is really our family now?" "Yes, buddy. Really and officially." "Good," Zix said quietly. "I was afraid I would have to leave." "Never," Jake said firmly. "Families stick together always." 6 months later, Jake stood in the same courthouse where they had fought for Zix's future. This time he was holding adoption papers that made everything official. Tommy bounced excitedly beside him while Zix tried to look serious but couldn't hide his smile. "Congratulations, Morrison family," Judge Brooks said warmly. "Zix, you are now legally Jake's son and Tommy's brother." The courtroom was much quieter this time. Only friends and supporters had come to witness the adoption. Dr. Chen was there, along with Mrs. Davis and Principal Hayes. Even Commander Park had taken time from her military duties to attend. "How does it feel to be officially human?" a reporter asked Zix outside the courthouse. "I am not human," Zix corrected gently. "I am Catherian, but I am also American now. I am part of this family and this community." The reporter looked confused. "But the adoption papers make me a citizen," Zix explained. "They do not change what I am. They just give me a place where I belong." Jake put his arm around Zix's shoulders. "That's exactly right, son. The last 6 months had changed everything. News of the adoption had spread around the world. Other families began reaching out to help alien refugees. The Morrison model became a template for human-alien family integration. Jake's construction company had not only hired him back, but promoted him to supervisor. They had partnered with Catherian engineers who had arrived on Earth after hearing about Zix's success. The alien building techniques were revolutionary, creating stronger structures with less materials. Tommy's school had transformed into something special. Pine Valley Elementary became the first integrated school on Earth, with both human and alien children learning together. Zix helped design the curriculum, making sure it worked for different species' learning styles. "Dad, look," Tommy called out, pointing to the sky. A large silver ship was descending toward the landing field outside town. Jake, Tommy, and Zix drove to the spaceport to watch it land. The ship was huge, larger than any building in town. As the engines powered down, a ramp extended from the bottom. Tall, blue-skinned figures walked down the ramp with graceful movements. "Catherians," Zix whispered, his eyes wide with excitement. At the front of the group walked an impressive alien wearing robes decorated with symbols. Dr. Chen met them at the bottom of the ramp. "Ambassador Kretal," Dr. Chen said, bowing slightly. "Welcome to Earth." The ambassador looked around the landing field until his eyes found Zix. His face showed surprise and joy. "Young teacher," Ambassador Kretal said in perfect English. "We have traveled far to see this miracle we have heard about." Zix stepped forward and bowed in the Catherian way. "Honored elder, I greet you. The stories we heard seemed impossible. A young one of our kind teaching alien children, thriving among strangers. Many of our people did not believe it, but you came to see for yourself. Yes, and to bring news. We have found a new world suitable for our people. But many wish to remain here to learn from humans as you have learned." Jake stepped forward. "Ambassador, this is my son Zix, and I'm Jake Morrison." The ambassador studied Jake with intelligent eyes. "You are the human who adopted our child?" "I'm the human who got lucky enough to have Zix choose our family." Ambassador Kretal smiled. "Wisdom speaks through simple words. May we visit this school we have heard about?" The next day, Pine Valley Elementary hosted the most unusual school visit in history. Ambassador Kretal and 5 other adult Catharians walked through the hallways, observing human and alien children learning together. In Tommy's classroom, Zix was helping a young Thralian refugee understand Earth mathematics, while Tommy worked with a human girl on a science project. The scene looked completely natural now. "Remarkable," the ambassador murmured to Jake. "In our old world, we taught only our own kind. Here, species learn from each other freely. That's the human way," Jake said proudly. "We believe knowledge belongs to everyone. Your son has become a bridge between worlds. He carries the wisdom of our people, but has learned the compassion of yours." During lunch, the ambassador made an announcement to the assembled children and teachers. "People of Earth, we come with a proposal. My government wishes to establish a permanent educational exchange between our species. We offer to share our knowledge of science, mathematics, and teaching methods. In return, we hope to learn your ways of creativity, cooperation, and—" He paused, looking at Jake and Zix. "Family." Principal Hayes stepped forward. "What exactly are you proposing?" "A new kind of school. One where Catharian teachers work alongside human teachers. Where students of all species learn together. Where knowledge flows freely between cultures." "Where would this school be built?" Ambassador Kretal smiled. "Here. Pine Valley Elementary has already proven the concept works. We propose to expand it into the first true interspecies academy." The children erupted in cheers. Even the teachers looked excited about the possibilities. That evening, Jake sat on his porch watching Tommy and Zix play in the yard with their friends. The group included 3 human children, Zix, and 2 other young aliens who had recently arrived with their adoptive families. President Elizabeth Morgan appeared on television for a special address. "My fellow Americans, 6 months ago, one man made a simple choice to help a homeless child. Today, that choice has opened doors to the greatest educational advancement in human history. The Morrison model of refugee adoption has been adopted by 17 countries. Applications for alien adoption have increased by 3,000%. Jake nearly choked on his coffee. 3,000%? Furthermore, the president continued, Congress has approved funding for 50 interspecies schools across the nation based on the Pine Valley model. We are not just helping refugees anymore. We are learning from them." Marcus Williams, a documentary filmmaker, had been following their story for months. His film, The Child Who Changed Everything, was premiering next week. Early reviews called it the most important story of human-alien relations ever told. "How does it feel to be famous?" Marcus asked Jake during their final interview. "I'm not famous. I just did what any decent person would do." "But you changed history." "No, Zix changed history. I just gave him a safe place to do it." A year later, Jake stood in the same park where he had first met Zix. The bench where Tommy and Zix had drawn pictures in the dirt now had a plaque that read, "Here began the friendship that changed 2 worlds." The park was busier now. Human families walked alongside alien families. Children of different species played together on the playground. What had once seemed impossible was now completely normal. Zix, now 13, was designing curriculum for the new Interspecies Academy. Tommy, nearly 10, had become fluent in 3 alien languages and was teaching younger kids how to communicate with their new classmates. "Dad," Tommy said, running up to Jake, "Zix got accepted to the advanced teaching program." "That's wonderful. Where is he?" "Teaching a physics class to high school students. They asked him to help because none of the human teachers understood quantum mechanics well enough." Jake laughed. Of course they did. That evening, the Morrison family sat around their dinner table. It was a bigger table now because their family had grown. Dr. Chen had asked Jake to adopt 2 more alien refugee children who needed homes. Jake had said yes without hesitation. "Jake," Zix said during dinner, "I have been thinking about something." "What's that, buddy?" "When I was alone and homeless, I thought my life was over. I thought I had lost everything when my world died. And now I understand that ending one life can mean beginning another. Losing my old family helped me find my new family. Losing my world helped me find a better world." Tommy grinned. "Plus you got the coolest dad ever." "That is true," Zix agreed seriously. "Jake is very cool." Jake felt his eyes getting watery. "You guys are pretty cool too." Later that night, Jake tucked both boys into their beds just like any normal father. Except there was nothing normal about having one human son and one alien son. Nothing normal about bedtime stories that included real adventures on other planets. Nothing normal about helping with homework that covered subjects most adults couldn't understand, but it felt normal to them. It felt like family. As Jake turned off the lights, Tommy called out, "Dad, do you ever wonder what would have happened if you hadn't stopped to help Zix that day?" "Sometimes. I'm glad you did. Everything good happened because you decided to be nice to someone who needed help." "No, Tommy. Everything good happened because Zix needed help and was brave enough to accept it. All I did was what any good person should do." "Maybe," Zix said quietly from his bed. "But on my world we have a saying. One act of kindness creates ripples across the galaxy. Your kindness created ripples that reached all the way to my people's new world." Jake smiled in the darkness. "Then I guess we're all pretty lucky that we found each other." "Yes," both boys said together. "We are." Outside their window, ships from a dozen different worlds crossed the night sky, bringing more refugees to their new home on Earth. Each ship carried families looking for safety, children needing education, adults hoping for new chances, and on Earth, human families waited to welcome them, inspired by one construction worker who had chosen compassion over fear, love over suspicion, hope over hatred.